Hey everyone, it's Nancy, the nurse practitioner here to introduce you to Karen Pierce, who's a yoga therapist and instructor. And she's been doing that for over 40 years, so she knows a lot of what she's talking about. And we're going to take a class today on joint freeing in a chair. And first thing I want to tell you is that I did take a class with Karen. I took a bunch of classes, and I noticed that at the end of the classes, my joints were the joints I never knew I had and muscles were really sore for a couple days. So it really does work to keep your body moving and be flexible. And this chair yoga is going to be for the older population and for the caregivers out there so you can move mom in bed and be more flexible. So Karen is going to take it away and do a 15-minute lesson for you. Get ready with your chair and socks off and a tennis ball. Here comes Karen.
All right, so we're going to start with some balancing, and you may need a chair for support. But as we get older, our balance starts to change and we start getting more out of balance and off balance. So it's really important to challenge our balance. And I like to do that with something called tandem feet. You're going to bring one foot in front of the other, bring your heel right up to your toes, and the goal is to let go of the chair and feel all the micro movements in your feet and legs. And this is how we keep our balance from declining as we age. And so just feel all those muscles moving. And then we want to switch legs. So if you need to, change your feet and hold on to that chair to start. And again, bring the other foot heel to your toes. And then let go of that chair if possible. If not, hold on to the chair or or lighten up your how hard you hold the chair and try and hover above the chair and really test those muscles in your legs and feet. They should be wiggling all around. You should be feeling all these micro movements. Something else that we lose is a lot of dexterity in our feet. So it's important to stretch our ankles because when they're in shoes all the time, we lose a lot of flexibility in the toes and feet. So one of the ways you can do that is curl your toes under and gently press down through your toes, and you're going to stretch out your ankles. And then try the other foot, pressing gently down until you feel that stretch. And then also pointing and flexing the feet. So just point the toes, flex, point, flex, point, flex, and release. And try the other foot. One more time. And then on this one, we're going to just sit on the chair. This one I like. It's a really good ankle stretch. It's inversion and eversion. You're going to flex your feet, bring the inner edges of your feet together. And now you're going to roll and try and bring the little toes together, bring the soles of the feet together. And then you're going to do the same thing in reverse, try and bring the toes towards your knees. All right, soles of the feet together. This is a really good ankle stretch. One more time. And then release. Now we're going to come and stand and do something called toe yoga. And again, we lose so much flexibility in our feet because of shoes, and our toes actually should move like our fingers. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and move each toe independently of the other. You're going to lift your toes up and you're going to try and put your big toe down, the second toe down, the third toe down, the fourth toe, and the little toe. And then you're going to see if you can lift each one up in reverse. I can't do that. They don't work independently always. Some of them do, some of them don't. So what you can do is, first of all, you want to definitely be willing your toes to move. So you're connecting your brain to your feet. It's called a neuromuscular connection. And you're imagining they're moving even if they're not. The other thing you can do is hold your toe, big toe and little toe down, lift the three middle toes and then lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. One more time. And then you can hold the 3 middle toes down and lift and lower your big toe and your little toe. And then we want to do the same thing with the other foot. So that toe yoga, lift your toes up, big toe down, second toe down, third toe down, fourth toe down, fifth toe. And then now reverse it, lifting up little toe, fourth toe, third toe, second toe, and big toe. And then holding the big toe and the little toe down, lift the 3 middle toes up, lift, lift, lift. And then hold them down and lift the big toe and the little toe. So that's one way that you can practice working with your feet. The other way is using a tennis ball. Most people have access to a tennis ball. And if not, you can just go down to the park and you usually find one in the woods. So the feet mirror your physical body. The heel of the foot is related to the leg. So I have the ball under my right foot right now, so I'll be working the right side of my body. So if you had any leg injuries, you would feel more sensation on your foot because there's meridians in the body that all end in your feet. And it's the same idea as acupuncture, acupressure. Now, if you bring the ball to the arch, with the outer edge, so the ball sticking out, now the arch is related to your torso between your pelvic bowl and your throat. So this is where all your major organs are, and this will also give you an indication of if something's out of balance. Now come to full middle of the arch. So as we're moving from the outer edge of the foot, we're moving in towards the midline. So we're working all the organs on that side of your body that the ball's under. And then coming to the inner arch, so the ball sticking out a little bit inside that foot. Now this is full midline. This gets pretty uncomfortable because this is related to liver, pancreas, and spleen when we get in here. And if you ever went and had reflexology, they get digging right into the exact organs. We're just doing a general workout of our internal organs. Now come under the baby toe. The ball is under the ball of foot, right under that little toe. Now we're moving into the shoulder area and the lungs. And again, we're moving in towards that midline. Come to the middle of the foot under those 3 middle toes. Coming in now towards the sternum, the heart, and the thymus gland, which is our gland that helps us with our immunity. So this is really good to keep our immune system strong. And now under the big toe, right on the ball of the foot, now we're full on heart, spleen, thymus, right in that midline in the chest. All right, and I'm going to roll the ball from heel to toe. As you come to your heel, spread your toes. As you come to the toes, try and spread your toes. So spread the toes at the heel, spread the toes around the ball. And as we roll up and down the foot, this mirrors our nervous system. So it's good for calming down our nervous system. And then we're going to come back, bring the toes, wrap them around the ball, and actually spread your toes. Create space between those toes and press the ball of the foot down while wrapping your toes around the ball. Sometimes the ball will go flying, right? And actually, if you stand here and notice the side you rolled the ball, it feels like the floor is crooked because everything's so relaxed on that side. So we want to make sure we're balanced and work that other side now. So bring the ball to the other heel, working the other leg, lower leg, and upper leg into that hip. And then come to the arch, the outer edge of the arch. Now we're moving into the torso, all those major organs down the other side. Come to center, moving inward towards that midline. And finally, that inner edge. And now bring the ball under that little toe, so that outer edge of the ball of the foot. And really pressing in there if you can. If you need to, if this is too much weight for you, I do a lot of ball work, so this is not comfortable for me, but for the first time for people it can be. You can actually step back and shift your weight back so you don't have so much weight in here like I do. Come to the center, right under those the ball of foot where those 3 toes are in the middle. And then finally, under the big toe, right under that ball of the foot. And then we're going to roll the ball, that nervous system, roll from the length of your foot, come to the heel, spread your toes, come to the toes, spread your toes and wrap them around the ball. One more time, and then drop the heel, wrap the toes around the ball, separate any toes that are stuck together, press the ball of the foot down, wrap the toes around the ball. Awesome. All right, so we're done with the ball. And we're going to come and sit on our chair. And we're going to do something that is called the joint freeing series. And we're going to work some of the joints in our body. This is how we can move a lot of energy and blood flow through our body. We're going to start with our palms up, arms out. Bring your fingertips to your shoulders. Open up the elbows. And now draw big circles in the air, rolling them back. We don't want to roll forward because we're already good at what I call slump asana, where we slouch and slump our shoulders. So we want to open up the shoulders, open up the chest, and then come here and bring your elbows up to shoulder height. And now bring your arms into what we call up cactus or the goalpost. And we're going to bring our forearms together and then open, close, and open, close, and open. One more time, keep them open. Now you're going to roll your shoulders away from your ears. And we're going to do up cactus and down cactus. So when you bring your arms down, try not to let your shoulders and elbows drop. Keep them up high and don't push. So up and down. So only your range of motion, wherever your arms rotate to without pushing. One more time. And now something I call the robot arms. One arm comes up and switch and switch and switch and switch. One more time each side, and then let go of those shoulders, roll them back. All right, moving into the neck. So one of the things with the shoulders too, if you break down the word, it's should and and it's related to carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders, or should, coulda, woulda. And we really, it's important to stretch out those shoulders and neck. So moving into the neck, you're gonna drop one ear to your shoulder, soften your shoulder away from your ear, and back to center, same side. Moving with your breath, inhale up, exhale down. One more time. And then other side, drop the other ear, drop the shoulder and center. And notice if one side of your neck is tighter than the other. We are not symmetrical, most of us, and it's important to notice where we carry that tension. Last one. All right, now turning the head one side and back to center. Try leading with your eyes first. Eyes turn and then head follows. One more time. Eyes turn, head follows. Now try the other side. Eyes turn, head follows. Two more. Last one. All right, this one is a really nice one. We're going to turn our head. We're going to drop the back of the head down to the shoulder and then squeeze the shoulder up and then release the shoulder down and the head comes back to neutral. 3 more times. Head drops back, shoulder up and down. Squeeze and release. One more. Squeeze and release. Head back to center. Turn to the other side. Drop the head back. Lift the shoulder up. And then stretch them apart. Squeeze and stretch. Squeeze and stretch. One more. Squeeze and stretch. And then head back to center. All right. From here, you're going to hold on to your chair. And depending on how long your arms, you may be able to hold the second ring like I can. But just anywhere up on the chair, hold on to the side. And we're going to lateral bend to the side. Stretch one arm up. And then we're going to stretch over, come back to center, stretch over, back to center, stretch over. One more time moving. And then next time we're going to hold the pose. So this is that union of movement followed by stillness. Really open up the rib cage, stretching that side body, and come back, hand down, next to you and take the other arm up, and let's move it first. So when we move in yoga, it's called vinyasa, and vinyasa means breath-directed movement. So one more moving with the breath, inhale up, and then side bend, hold it here. Open up the ribs. There's little muscles between those ribs called intercostal muscles, and they are accessory breathing muscles. They help us breathe. They assist the lungs. And up, and hands on your thighs. Cat and cow, so we're moving our spine now. There's a saying in India, you're only old as your spine is flexible. So we want to make sure our spine moves in all 7 directions. So here we're going to round our back, tuck the chin in, and then we're going to arch our spine, gaze up at the third eye. And exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. So when we move our spine in 7 directions, standing pose is axial extension. We're lengthening our spine. Forward bending, backward bending, twisting left and right, and then flipping ourselves upside down, inverted. All right, so anything we can do on our mat in regular yoga, we can do seated in a chair or even a big fit ball if you want to challenge your muscles even more. So you're going to turn sideways on your chair, stretch your leg back, and we're going to come into warrior 1. Arms are extended by your ears. So if you change out your chair for a ball, that's a lot of core work and balance. And then arms extended into warrior 2, parallel to the floor. And then from here, you're going to grab your chair. You're going to bring your legs out wide. Take your arms up, inhale up. Exhale, bend your elbows, palms facing one another into goddess pose. And then we're going to inhale back up. Now bring the palms together and your elbows together into our elephant's trunk. Try and keep your elbows shoulder height if you want to get a little extra out of your shoulders here. And then inhale up, explode into volcano. Able to fold forward, but not everybody's. Have to grab your chair and walk your hands to the floor. Walk hands, and you're going to walk your hands towards one foot. Going a little deeper here, if you can do that. Come back to center, and now you're going to walk towards the other foot. Stay here. Come back to center. Walk your feet in, and again, if you need to, walk your hands up your chair. If you're able to use some core strength, inhale, sweep it all the way up. Hands down in front of your heart, and then walk those feet all the way back. All right, big toe pose. We're going to stretch out some hamstrings here. We're going to lift that knee. You can hold behind the knee, under the arch, or hook your big toe with your pointer and middle finger. You're going to stretch that leg up, lift that heel upward, soften the shoulders away from your ears. Cross that ankle over your thigh. We're going to do some more footwork. You're going to take your fingers and spread them in between each toe. And you're going to really stretch those toes out. This is really good footwork. They have fancy things called yoga toes, or this rubber tool that you can stick between your toes. If you've ever had a pedicure, it's kind of like that, but they're really thick and they help spread your feet. So really important that we keep our feet healthy and release. Now, other leg, big toe pose. Pick your hand position, whatever is appropriate for you. Stretch out that leg, lifting the heel up. Even if your leg isn't straight, it's the act of straightening. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. And if you can see, my toes aren't very stretched out right now. They're kind of stuck together. Cross that ankle over your thigh, and now spread those toes with your fingers. Slide those fingers in. Really stretch them out. And you might notice once you take your fingers away, that those toes are really separated now. We have lots of space there. All right, moving into our twist. So you're gonna hold on to your chair. You're gonna take one arm to the back, take the other arm to the seat. And without turning your head, so I'm gonna ask you to keep looking straight at me. We're only moving the spine. So spin the spine from the base of the spine all the way up to the shoulder blades without engaging your head. So don't get ahead of yourself, just stay here in your spine. Think of you're turning your heart. You're moving from the heart center. And then release, come to the other side, switching your arms, lift up nice and tall, create space in your spine, and twist into that space. And unwind. All right, one more balancing we can do standing on each side is standing on one leg. And if you want to get into those hips, which is really important, we keep those hips nice and open, rotate the hip out. So these kind of movements keep our hips juicy, and it's decreases our chances of having to get that hip replacement. Now you can bring that foot right to your thigh, or to go to your lower leg, or even a kickstand where your toes are down on the ground into our tree pose. And again, this is where you can test by lifting your hand to see how your balance is today. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So come to the other side of your chair and bring that knee up. And then we're going to rotate that knee open. And again, back to center and open. And just feel the sensations in the hip. Then bring that foot to anywhere inside your leg. Just try not to push into your knee. So anywhere in the leg. And then seeing if you can release your hand. All right. The next pose is a downward facing dog, but a lot of people have a hard time getting down on the floor. So you can use your chair or a wall for this, where your hands are on the back of the chair. Step your feet out, stretch out your arms, press back through your sits bones. And you're gonna get a nice stretch here. If you can go deeper, you can use the seat of your chair instead. Hold on to the seat and do the same thing here. And you're just feeling that stretch across the spine, stretching out the shoulders. You're gonna feel this in your hamstrings. And the other way to do this too is against a wall. Make sure your hands are shoulder height and step back. And the same thing, press into the wall and imagine somebody's pulling your hips back. This is a great stretch for those people who can't do downward facing dog, which is all the way down on the floor. All right, the next pose, the last pose, is what I call the crown pull. This is really good for brain fog. As we get older, we tend to get that brain fog. So you're going to take your fingers, curl them in, you're going to put them on your forehead, you're going to push in, pull out. And you're going to keep going right down the center of your skull, down the crown, all the way back. Push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. Come all the way down the back of the skull, all the way down the base, down to where the neck meets the shoulders. And then you're going to push, you're going to pull and drag those fingertips all the way down over the tops of the shoulders, and then brush it away. And that is a mini class from head to toe.
It was so good, so refreshing to get all the joints moving. So everybody, this is important to do every day if you can. Take some time. It's better in the morning before you get mom out of bed, if you could do it. And maybe some of these things, I know many people are bedridden. I don't know, Karen, if you have other ideas for them down the line, but chairs are great. If mom is even sitting in her wheelchair, she could do some of these. She can't move to the side and things, but she's in a chair. And
my aunt was paralyzed from the waist down in a chair since she was in her teens, and she lived into her 90s, and she did yoga in bed every single morning.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, we're going to start with this chair yoga for people and give you more suggestions of what you like, because I know a lot of people do comment on my videos at Caregiver Success. And thank you, Karen, for coming. Really appreciate it. And everybody stay flexible. Till the next time. Thanks, Karen. Bye.